This is just a follow-up to last week's video, where I'm basically given brief, well, easier tutorial about blockchain and crypto and utility tokens and all that kind of stuff, to the baby boomers and above of the older generation, basically, who thanks for all the messages and the pointers and the tips and stuff. I'm really grateful for that. I'll try and address as much as I can in this video, and hopefully yeah, you guys will be a bit more aware about how it all works. Just a quick recap. Like I said last week, with I've got to get the questions back up so I don't forget or miss anything. Yeah, just a quick recap. Yeah, like I said last week, blockchain is your road, which is also the road we are building. That's the KCP part of the whole enterprise. Now, blockchain is your road. Crypto is your car, your vehicle, which you use to access that road, right? And to access that road, you need utility token, which is like which pays for like gas fees and stuff like that. It pays for your I don't know, your fuel, I guess, your coffee breaks or pasty to help you go down. It basically pays for, you need that to use your crypto on the road, which is what Kernow currency is, a utility token. Now, a few people asked me, someone asked me the other day, can we not incorporate some kind of tax for visitors visiting Cornwall, like tax them more to use it or whatever, or to just in general to help the infrastructure of Cornwall or whatever. Now, it's a good point, but it's ridiculously it's ridiculously difficult to enforce, because all wallets are anonymous. Yeah, the blockchain, this is why the GDPR and all that kind of stuff is massively it's a massive thing with the blockchain. Yeah, you would never be able to, it'd be difficult to police it. Yeah, so my suggestion is, why don't you accept Kernow currency in your businesses? Yeah, obviously make sure you've bought and held some as well, stuck some in savings or whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, now you can have it that it's your business, so you can accept whatever you want, whether it's cash or whatever. So why don't you say, okay, this is our business here, we accept Kernow currencies. Now, to use Kernow currency to pay us for our services or goods or whatever, you have to pay us in Kernow currencies. Yeah, so the visitors would have to buy Kernow currencies to use it in Cornwall or whatever. Now, the advantages of that is, when they pay you in Kernow currency, your savings, which you're already holding in Kernow currency or however much, goes up. Because the more people start using it and the more people start adopting it or whatever, the value keeps going up. It keeps going up. Now, like I said in the last video, there's only 250 billion of it made. Yeah, there can't be any more made or anything like that. Yeah, out of that, 169 billion will be released to the public in various stages. Yeah, so that, because obviously it's finite, and there's more people using it and spending it and using it in shops or whatever your services are, whether it's even from car wash to window cleaning to currency. Yeah, and then they pay you, they have to buy Kernow currency to use it in your facilities and use it in your shop. Now, the more businesses and the more services starts adopting Kernow currency in Cornwall, yeah, it automatically grows and starts growing by itself. You understand that, right? Now, the other question was, why would you choose Kernow currency, or why would you choose utility tokens or crypto in general over cash? Well, for starters, cash, they're printing billions and billions every single day. I think it's hundreds of billions they're printing every single day. So the savings you've, say for example, your £100 or whatever, 10 grand, whatever you've put in savings, yeah, because they're printing so much, the inflation keeps going up because there's more of it around, yeah, to buy the same thing you was able to buy, I don't know, whenever, yeah, because there's more of it around, yeah, they're having to print more. And no, sorry, because there's more of it around, it causes inflation because it's worth less. Cash isn't backed by anything. It's just promise. It used to be backed with gold and all that kind of stuff. It's not backed by anything whatsoever. So when it does crash, which it will crash, what are you going to do then? Crypto, on the other hand, is backed by the blockchain. No one owns the blockchain. No one can control the blockchain. No one can manipulate the blockchain. You can't. It doesn't. It like I said last time, sky's blue. Blockchain's final. Simple as that. You can't manipulate it. Yeah. All the crypto or utility tokens, you own that. Those are yours to look after. Those are yours. They're not like I don't know. They're not like they're not like cash where it's, I don't know, owned by the banks, and if you want to use it, you have to go in there and like get like permission as to, I don't know. Some chap was telling me the other day he went to buy he went into the bank to try and pull out, I think, 3,500 to buy a van or something like that. Yeah, a vehicle. Yeah, and then he got called into office. He was getting asked questions. Oh, why are you taking it out, and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And it's his money. It's his money. Yeah, but you need permission onto how to spend your money, or who or where to send your own money to. Yeah, with crypto you don't have that. You basically, it cuts out there's no banks, because you're dealing directly with the blockchain. Yeah, and because the blockchain has no bosses or no shareholders or none of that, yeah, you are responsible for your own crypto. Now, the downside of being responsible for your own crypto is where you store your crypto matters. Like what wallet you choose to use, and whether it's a cold wallet, online, whatever. I would suggest to most of you, if you're gonna, when you start collecting crypto, get yourself a cold wallet, because with a cold wallet you can store your crypto offline. So if, for example, was it a couple of weeks ago, was it last week, a big company's internet went down and took out half the internet with it. Yeah, and how many times this year is like banks, the bank's not working, so I don't know, you just bought fuel, you got in a petrol station to pay for fuel, you can't pay for your fuel because the bank's gone down, so your card is not working. That doesn't happen with crypto. Especially doesn't happen if you've got a cold wallet and stuff like that. It just doesn't happen with crypto, because crypto doesn't use it the way it operates. It doesn't use any of that. And utility tokens, same thing. They all run off the blockchain, so it won't work like that, right? Now, where was I? I've kind of almost lost myself. Yeah. Now, when you save, like with Kernow currency, or there's other utility tokens out there, yeah. When you buy, if a currency's got X amount, yeah, it's always going to be worth more. But it's a case of what is that currency used for? What is it used for? If you bought, I don't know, a cryptocurrency named after L'Oreal currency, okay, cool. What can you do with it? Do you know what I'm saying? Well, what's the plan? Okay, I own L'Oreal crypto, but cool. What can you do with it? Usually, those type of cryptos who are not really, they're like named after certain, like, they're named after like catchy things. They usually, there's a thing called meme coin. Yeah, meme coins are driven up by engagement. Like if a lot of people keep like talking and like, I don't know, keep online engagement. That's how meme coins are driven up by, because there's hype around it. It's not necessarily worth. It's not it's worth something. It is still worth something. It's still probably worth more than cash, but it's only worth as what it's worth while the hype is up. Once the hype drops, that's it. It's over. It usually perishes and you never see it again. Yeah. And then the other thing, in the downside of crypto, again, yeah, is a thing called rug pulling. Rug pulling is the most annoying and irritating thing in the crypto community, because in the blockchain crypto community, it's all one. You can't how do you explain it? Okay, let me start from the top, go back down, and let's try and explain to you what rug pulling is. Rug pulling is basically when, for example, I release a coin called FIFA coin, yeah. So it gets everywhere. Everyone starts talking about, oh, there's a coin called FIFA and blah blah blah. Everyone buys into it. Everyone's like hyped in it. It's like it goes from like, I don't know, not whatever to like 10-20 pounds, and keeps rocketing. So it will go from 10% to 1,000% or whatever in like, you're talking 2 days, if that. If you're lucky, 3 days. It shoots all the way up. Yeah, everyone's hyped about it. The investors pull their money out. They cash all they empty the liquidity pool. So you're then left holding the bag and you can't get out. That's what rug pulling is. Yeah. The problem with rug pulling, and why it's so prevalent in crypto is unregulated. Not one bank owns crypto. I can, like, as with Kernow currency, I've registered it. I've done everything I legally can with the utility tokens. I've registered it, and it's got a website, it's got a business address, it's got everything. Like, I am here talking to you, so you know who actually owns Kernow currency. Yeah, and those of you who know me, you've met who owns Kernow currency. Now, a rug pull one, you will never know who owns it. They usually use like celebrities or someone or people like that to front it. It will just be like some random company you've never heard of. Yeah, they've never really done anything. Yeah, you've never ever heard of these lot. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, everyone's talking about it, and it's like everywhere. Yeah, and it's gone up like 200 bloody billion%. Yeah, and the next, like, for example, I'll give you an example. There was a girl called the Hot Tour Girl. For all of you boomers who won't understand who the hell is that? Basically, there was a girl on a night out. She did one of those call it drunk recordings, where people come and interview you on a night out, starts asking you questions. It's meant to be fun, light-hearted kind of stuff. Yeah. So she made a sexual comment. Yeah. Hence the name Hot Tour. I'm sure you can work out what that is. Yeah. But people released crypto using her name and using her as the front person and blah blah blah. And then she backed it, convinced everyone to do it. Yeah, everyone invested and started buying into it, and then they pulled out all the liquidity and that was it, disappeared. That's what the thing is. There's a more recent one, more famous one. I'm going to say in January. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to get sued. But it does seem like it, because they've released a currency in January. It went up ridiculous amount of percent within a couple of days. Yeah, you're talking like from less than 89p all the way to £100 per share. A lot of people made money from it. A lot of people lost money from it. That's the game, man. Do you know? Whereas with Kernow currency, as much as obviously I can do my, as much as I can, as much as I'm doing my best to obviously make this currency a as solid and legitimate as possible. Yeah, there's always going to be that everything's got risk. That's just life. Everything's got risk. Yeah, like even whether it's shares and stocks, or I don't know, building a house or whatever, you want to hope the foundations are solid so the thing doesn't cave in 10 minutes later. Everything's got risk. But as long as due diligence has been taken out, yeah, and done everything humanly possible to make it a secure and a good project moving forward, that this is built to kind of currency is built to long outlive me, long outlive most of you. So all of you guys who are saving money and you want to put money away for like your grandchildren and stuff like that, want to pass down inheritance and all this kind of stuff, you have an opportunity now. You have there's only like I said, a finite amount made. You have an opportunity. It doesn't lose value. It just keeps growing. It will just keep growing up in value. And obviously, if you are able to, like, if once other businesses in Cornwall starts adopting it and start accepting it as payment, then you can, like I said, tell the visitors who are coming down, right, we accept Kernow currency, utility token, or we accept that as payment, and then you can, I don't know, even make your, I don't know, you can, however you want to run it how you want to run it, yeah, but it's something that is designed to basically it will never be controlled or owned by anyone. Once 169 billion tokens are released onto the market, that's it. It runs and it will run itself and all that kind of stuff. We will obviously focus on building the blockchain and stuff like that, but once it's released to the public, it's released to the public, so it's yours. You see, if you want to get ahead as a young person, like my age or younger, if you want to get ahead, I don't know any other possible way of you getting ahead, because they're printing a lot of it. Because they're printing a lot of it, and there's a lot of it around. Yours is yours is worth less. The wages they're paying you, but prices are going up. Do you get that, right? You understand that? So with that being the case, yeah, where wages are going up, no, wages aren't going up as fast as what inflation is, at some point the deck of cards has to flinch or come down. What are you going to do? You got people out here working 80, 90 hours a week. Insane amount of hours. Yeah? But they can't, they'll never be able to, like, they still can't buy a house. Because the wage you're getting paid is not enough to pay for the deposit, let alone, you might be able to pay the mortgage and stuff like that, but you need to deposit first. Yeah? And then that's when you start getting into, like, I don't want to get into all that property stuff, because it's a different world. So, but do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's Kernow currency for you. That's some of the risk. The other risk as well is volatility. It can go up like from 10% to 100%, and then, or 200 to 1,000%, and then crash back down to 200%. It's no one can. I can't control the volatility. No one can do that. Yeah, but it's like the, well, it acts, it's the same as an ocean, the tide. No one controls the tide. It goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out. That's it. That's life. But we are working, and we're constantly working on making it stronger and stuff like that, you see. So my message to you guys, to everyone, us lot in Cornwall, I'm not saying I'm a messiah. Well, I can't be the messiah, because I can't save everyone, and I'm not into politics and all that kind of stuff, and it's long. I look at, I've been trading for years, so I look at patterns. Yeah, humans have a similar pattern. There's always a pattern in everything. Yeah, if you know what to look for and stuff like that. Now the pattern I'm seeing, I'm not trying to put a dampener on it or anything like that. Yeah, is the patterns I'm seeing is crypto and utility token. This whole blockchain is inevitable. Banks are already experimenting with it to see how they can incorporate it into the banking system, because it cuts out the banking system. Right now, you guys, yeah, if you bought your own, when you buy your own crypto or whatever, yeah, you don't need the banks. You only need a bank account. Technically, you don't even need a bank account anymore. You only need a bank account if you got want to set up direct debit going out and all this kind of stuff. But you don't need a bank account. You can most crypto wallets have their own card. Most people, there's quite a few people I know who have their wages paid in crypto. Why? Because cash is losing its value and is losing its buying power. That £10 before you could use, like I said in the last video, look at Fredo. Used to be able to get a lot for £10. Now, Tesco's. Try and go. There's other supermarkets as well. I don't want to get sued, but try and go into Tesco's without a club card. I'm not trying to force it on anyone. Obviously, you're free to do what you want to do. But I'm just giving you the basics, especially you guys of the older generation. Yeah, what you must understand is when you leave inheritance for grandkids and stuff like that, yeah, or your children, whatever, whoever, yeah, what you must understand is, because cash is being printed at such a fast rate, yeah, you want to hope that well, basically, you lot of the older generation, you guys who are leaving money for inheritance and all this kind of stuff, and especially these farmlands and all this kind of stuff, who have to pay a serious amounts of inheritance taxes and blah blah blah, yeah. Now, because they're, like I said, because they're printing so much, yeah, and it's catching up, it's already gone, well, wages can't catch up to that anymore, yeah. And they keep doing that, and your money's losing value every single day. It's sat there in the bank, which that's up to you. You might be long gone before you realize the effects, but your children's children and your grandkids, they will feel that effect. This is why we've started this. This is why we brought this out. And this is why we started this in Cornwall first. So Cornwall, well, obviously, it's my hometown now. So always got to look after your hometown first, right? Before you start offering to the rest of the world. Because once the rest of the England or the world gets in, then that's that. Once it's sold, it's sold. You know? So, yeah, that's the long and short of it. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. One more thing. Someone asked me, yeah, why would I buy into crypto? I usually just stick to shares and stuff. That's good. It's good you do that. But stocks and shares is heavily manipulated. It's controlled and run by like a hedge fund guys. You see? So for example, say for example you bought and this shows you how much. Let me explain to you how it works. You you launch a company on the stock market. Call it I don't know. Call it Port Isaac shares. Yeah, you're on the stock market. When you go on the stock market, there's people who are gonna look at it and say like, this is never gonna work. They short it. And there's people who'll be like, oh yeah, optimistic and yeah, it's gonna work and blah 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 blah. This is that. So they buy to try and push the price up, yeah? And then they start pushing the price up. And then the people who said, oh, this ain't gonna work, there could be a magnitude of reasons why they think it's not gonna work. They might like Port Gavin better than they like Port Isaac. They might like Port Quinn better than they like Port Isaac. So what they would do, they'll short it. And they'll short it with such magnitude, like you, the retailer or whatever, will never be able to match the amount of money they can put in there to short that. So they short it. Your stock then drops below £1. Now, if your shares sits below, if that company is Port Isaac shares, yeah, sits below £1 for I think it's 60 days or 90 days consecutively, you're given a warning to get your shares. NASDAQ or London Stock Exchange or whatever, yeah, will give you a warning to get your shares back over £1. Because not only are you paying to be on there, you've got to keep your shares over a certain amount. Do you understand that? Yeah. So you're paying the fee you're paying to be on there is not cheap. It is insane. Yeah. Plus, you got to make sure your share stays over £1. That's part of the rules. Yeah. So, if, for example, I think it's after the third warning, your shares don't go back over £1 and keeps dropping consecutively, they will then send you a final 30-day notice. Yeah. Which is delisting notice. That's what it's called, delisting. They'll send you a delisting notice, and then with that delisting notice, you have I think it's either 30 days or 60 days to get your shares to stay up above £1, and it must stay up above £1 for a certain amount of time. I think it's like 3 months or something like that, 3 months or 6 months or something like that. It's got to stay above £1. Now, obviously, if you've got massive companies or massive people shorting your shares, yeah, if you've got more people shorting your shares than they are who are buying, yeah, and then they're putting in big money, I'm talking like, I don't know, 20 million or whatever to short your shares, yeah, and then if they're doing that, it's going to be near on impossible for you to get that share back up to over £1. Yeah. So the companies do a thing called a reverse split. A reverse split is like when you, like, I don't know, you've got, for example, Port Isaac shares, right? So they've got, I don't know, 10,000 shares. Yeah, you've bought, I don't know, 5,000 of them or whatever, 2,000, 1,000, whatever. You bought some. What they would then do is they'll do a thing called reverse split. And the reverse split means they will take, for every 100 of they will take 100 of your shares and give you back one. So your one share, your 100 of basically the reverse split is they'll take 100 of your shares and give you one. So they'll say your one share is now worth the equivalent of 100 shares. basically all that, you know, remember earlier you bought your share, like £1 a share, blah blah blah, or £2, I don't know, £100 a share, yeah, you own 5,000 shares. They're gonna say you're each, we're gonna take 100 shares off you and give you one. So your one share is worth an equivalent of 500. No matter how you look at it, you've already lost money. Do you understand that? Yeah. So what that they would then do is push the price back up over £1 for a certain amount of days or whatever, the period and whatever. And in that period, it will stay above £1 because they're not allowed to short between a certain time. They're not allowed to like short, like basically bet on it going down. Yeah, they're not allowed to do that within a certain time. Now, all of this stuff, when you invest in shares and all this kind of stuff, like some people have like their ISA and all this kind of, I'm not a financial expert, so obviously do your own research, do your own due diligence and stuff like that. That's up to you. Yeah. Now, you won't get that in crypto. What you do get in crypto is you get some utility tokens or some crypto, they have burns attached to it. Burns means every time a transaction is made, it burns a certain amount off. Burns a certain amount off means it starts reducing the amount of circulation around. When it starts reducing the amount that's around, yeah, your crypto starts being worth more because it's finite. The more people that use Kernow currency, yeah, the more it begins to be worth. So if you're asking your the tourist or whatever who will come to Cornwall, right, cool, you can come to our hotel or whatever, yeah, we accept Kernow currency. If you accept Kernow, you could, I don't know, stick a promo over it. I don't know, if you accept Kernow currency, you I don't know, give them a bubble bath or something, or give them a bubble bath thing or something, I don't know, whatever, yeah. So the more people start accepting thingy, the more Kernow currency starts becoming worth. Now, for those lot who like work in obviously the constructions and all that kind of stuff, you guys are working like mad hours and doing hard work, because constructions is not easy. I've done it before. It's so hard. It's no joke. Yeah. Now, you do all that, you break your back. Yeah. Literally. Like, if you see the amount of injuries that happens on construction site for people basically just trying to put bread on the table. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you get that? Like, the amount of people who break themselves trying to like build people houses and stuff like that, yeah, and they don't even have enough money to, some of them don't even have enough money to buy a house. This is going to help you. So if you're putting, I don't know, £50 or whatever a week away or whatever, it's a savings. It keeps growing. Like, you lot can say, oh yeah, but the bank does. Okay, cool. When's the last time the bank gave you more than 0.2% on a thing, if you're lucky? Banks don't do that anymore because, like I said, they keep printing cash. So you ain't never going to see that again. That's it. So it's totally up to you what you want to do. But we are saying to you, we've created something, Kernow currency, yeah. You can use it for your everyday thing. You can use it as savings, whatever. You can have your tourist or the Emets, as you call them, yeah. Say, right, I want to be paid in Kernow currency. That's what I want to be paid in. This is my service. This is what I'm offering. This is how I accept payment. They have to buy the thing to pay you. So it's up to you guys how you want to run it. But yeah. Anyway, my time's up. We've got some more development to do. Thanks for the messages and like, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really good luck. But yeah, I'll catch you guys soon on the next one.